Oh, football is back, baby. We get our first game tonight. You know we're betting Chiefs tonight. There's no way I can let the Ravens get out of the gate fast tonight. But football is here. Browns back at practice. We get ready to go for Sunday. Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, we've got that intrigue on the offensive line. I've got quarterback rankings from Nick Shook as we get ready to go for the season. And today is going to be a very special show for us. We are going to go through every division, every award, place our bets for the season, see how we go. We'll save this show for the end of the year, see exactly how we did as we get geared up for another season of NFL football. It all begins tonight. Exciting to have it back. But as again, with the Browns, a lot of questions surrounding them and exactly how it's going to go and how it's going to play out. We got to discuss some of that this morning. So we got plenty of Browns to get to. Guards, yeah, all right, what are you going to do? Ben Lively can't start a playoff game for you anymore. I don't know what else to tell you. So we'll talk some guards as they get geared up for the weekend as they're going to be going out to L.A. to face the Dodgers. Important series there, but you feel good about where the Guardians are at. We'll discuss some of the starting rotation issues with the Guardians. We'll get to that coming up. We got the grid. We'll get to time up. We got a loaded morning update. And again, our season predictions for the NFL. We got it all for you right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. I just can't do it the same when I'm fucking struggling like this. I just dropped an F-bomb. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry.
Let's go. That's how I know it's going to be a good show, is when the unintentional F-bomb pops out from you early.
Dude,
because for those who know, once Matt has children, he doesn't swear anymore.
Oh, I swear. Oh, I do. And the 3-year-old picks it up, and my wife looks at me, and then I got to play the...
That's kind of fitting. This is obviously kind of our 1-year anniversary
This is a very
for the
important
show.
show for us.
And that's by far the quickest into a show I've ever heard you swear.
It has.
And I think in a grand year, I think I have more fingers than times you've sworn on the show.
Well, and I think I've called it out sometimes when I'm like about ready to drop something, but I had to drop my throat. I feel bad because it's probably not great to listen to. It's probably not all that good for people trying to listen to me right now. But
I feel like it's more, honestly, I like it better than your normal voice.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I got into this when I first started this industry. There are some people that are just gifted with like the pipes of God. Like, you know, Paul Keels, the Ohio State play-by-play guy, he's got the voice of God. You know, 3rd and 10 coming up now for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Ezekiel, like he's just got like the deep, raspy voice.
I sound like a prepubescent child.
I kind of have a high-pitched voice as it goes. Now, I'm sick right now, so that's why I sound the way that I do. But when I got into it, somebody goes, don't ever do a fake radio voice because you're going to have to do that the rest of your career. You're better off just doing your voice and people will get used to it. But it's the voice I got for today. Now, Ryan mentioned it because today is a very important day for us. And we'll get to time up later. But we basically began this show 1 year ago today. I made the announcement 1 year ago today that we had started with Big Play, that we had started the show from 9 to 11. And I reflect so much on what this year has meant to not only me, but Ryan, certainly like having you a part of this show, which I appreciate so very much, to Dave, to Ken for believing in us and believing in this show, for Nick Padone and all his support. And then just everybody here at Big Play that welcomed us with open arms and have made us a part of this network. It's meant so much to me. And I go back to where I was a year ago, which was not a good place. And it's just how quick a year can go. And it's, you know, this too shall pass, right? It's wherever you're at. Like, I just never, I was lost. You know, I was really lost. And I was in a really, really bad place a year ago. And I'm so happy to not be there anymore, to be here, to have a home, believing in what we're doing here. I truly think this is the future, you know, of what digital sports is going to be and shows. And we do our best every day to bring the best content to you, to have a lot of fun. That's always the mark of my show. That is always the mark of any show I've ever done, is if I can have fun, if I can get you a half hour into your day and you don't have to think, if you're on your coffee break and I just make it go, I don't want your coffee break to go quick, but best compliment I could ever get, Ryan, was when somebody would tell me, man, you make my drive a little shorter. I have fun. I laugh. I feel a part of the show. So I'm just so full of thanks and Gratitude for everybody here at Big Play, for all of you out there, listen, I don't bury my head in the sand. We go up against some giants in this town doing the time slot that we do, okay? And you spend part of your morning with us. If it's 5 minutes, if you're here for 2 hours, I can't tell you how much that means to us. We appreciate it so much. We have big things coming this fall, even just with Big Play, to see the growth of Big Play. I still remember my first meeting sitting down with Ken and Dave, to discuss this and what their vision is for this outlet, and to see, even just in this year, to add Greg and Blake, to add the Cincinnati shows, to now with our biggest announcement, adding Jameis Winston. Drennan is here, on top of Josh and the Big Play Cleveland show, and Chico, and the great foundation that was already here. To be a part of it and to grow over the last couple of years, or the last year, I should say, has been incredible. And I'm so thankful again to be here. Ryan, I can't believe it's been a year. It really, and again, the show technically will be a year on Sunday.
Same difference.
But I made the announcement today. Officially, it's signed my contract 1 year ago today. Here we are. I don't know if anybody, I guess it's semi-important, but we do have an extension in place, and we'll be doing this for quite a little bit longer, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah, 2 years removed from a garage. That's pretty impressive.
That's Dave's thing. Dave started this in his garage.
And just a year ago, right, actually September 1st was my 1 year full-time here. So that was a very special day for me. I just graduated. I was an intern. I just graduated college. I really had no idea what I was going to do. Obviously, I knew it was something in this medium.
Yeah.
But it's not an easy medium to get into, especially someone my age, very young, not a ton of experience.
We're breaking down.
Very grateful for the opportunity that I've been given.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you this, man, you kick ass. You work extremely hard on here. Even as a young guy, I see it in you, and I know that you have a bright, bright future ahead of you. But you talk about the medium, and it's we grew up with TV and radio, and that's it. And I understand that we're semi-TV in a way, but we're doing this differently. We're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on our new Big Play app, which was also something within the last year that's been so great. But I see it, and I see the doors that we're breaking down here. I see people coming. I see the numbers that we do, the network, all of that. So again, it just all comes back to a lot of gratitude to the people here at Big Play, but again, especially to you. I thank you out there. Whether you watch us on the app, you go back and watch it on YouTube, you check it out on Twitter, you follow us there, thank you. Thank you. And I know there's a lot of people out there that watch almost every day or a big part of it, so I appreciate you so much. And, we're happy to do this. We have a lot of fun doing this, and it's all because of that. So 1 year in the books, 30 to go. I ain't going. At 30, I'll be 65. That's a good retirement thing. So 1 down, 30 to go. That's pretty much how we got it. Well, as long as we can get a freaking Super Bowl sometime in there, I think we'll all be happy. And it could be this year. Who knows? So we start off this Sunday with the Browns. And the news yesterday was not of any shock. Jed Wills is not going to start. And Watson did speak yesterday, and there's a lot of things to take away from Deshaun Watson. In a way, I got the semblance of confidence from Watson. He said that he's got no limitations, and the shoulder feels good, and he's ready to go. But he was asked about the left tackle situation, and he basically said James Hudson and Jack Conklin. That was it. He didn't even mention Jed Wills. So it sounds like at this point, they caught up with Wills, and he said, I'm not starting on Sunday. And, we sent the clip out from the show yesterday that got some run. And I said, this is not a shot at Jed Wills. Okay? This is not something that I'm angry at him. It is what it is. I'm moving forward with Jack Conklin as my starting left tackle. And I'm going to need something to happen to change that to me. Whether it's an injury, whether it's poor play, I'm not going into this, and maybe the Browns are different, but I'm not going into this saying, well, it's Jack's job until Jed is ready to go. Not at all. If Jack Conklin starts on Sunday, which we all expect it to be, and he plays well and he stays healthy, that's his job. I'm not tied up anymore about the money or the fact that Jed Wills was a first-round draft pick. I need the best guy out there. And they might come back and say, well, Jed is still our best guy. I still want to see Conklin. I still want to see him out there. And the importance of what that position is, I'm not playing this game back and forth. So I think the Browns are handling it the right way. Right now, you got to put your best guy out there. That's Jack Conklin. He's healthy. He's my starter. He is my starter. And something is going to have to change for him to not be my starter. And I hope it doesn't. I hope he starts 17 games for us. I hope he plays really well. But for right now, Jack Conklin's my starter, and I ain't thinking about it another time. And he's going to have a test on Sunday, certainly with Micah Parsons and that Dallas defense. But that's the decision that's been made for the Browns. Ryan, I like it. Go with Conklin until you can't.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Matt. And what I found rather interesting yesterday was just hours before Jed Wills told reporters that he wasn't starting Sunday, Kevin Stefanski was asked the same question, and he replied, we'll take it day by day or something along those same lines.
Right, exactly.
There's been, it seems, a total disconnect between the Browns and Jed Wills spanning months ago once we got into training camp, right? And now we're at this point where he finally returns to practice, and is it he's not fully ready to go health-wise, or is it we're not starting him because he didn't get enough camp in?
Yeah, I would imagine it's the health thing.
Because, yeah, he's going into his 5th year, right? So what's the disconnect?
Let's also call it for what it is. Did they just need him to pass his physical so he didn't start on PUP?
I mean, are they sick of his shit?
I mean,
I'm not saying that's true.
No,
and that might
I
be
know,
unfair,
but it's worth
the
like a lot of Browns fans keep bringing that up, man, and they keep saying like I said that about the Jed Wills thing weeks ago. I go, something stinks about this, and I don't know what it is. And I'll never be one to sit here and question a guy's work ethic or things like that. I talk about what I see on the field. And the issue is Jed Wills has had 2 pretty bad seasons. Like last year, yes, he got hurt. Ryan, let's not forget in 2022, that was not a marquee season for Jed Wills either. So you either feel like, I don't want to say his best football is behind him because he's, 26 years old. I hope that's not the case. But, like, something about this just doesn't mesh. And I think they needed him to pass the physical to keep him off the PUP list. I don't want to say they forced that, but they got him through his physical to get him off that list on the off chance that he can play. And when he's healthy enough to come back, which I don't think, I really do think, I don't think he's ready to play. He's out there practicing, sure. And everybody practiced yesterday, which was great. But I would have to imagine the injury is the biggest reason. Now, the same factor, yeah, he didn't practice. Well, that comes back to the injury. He's not ready to go. At the end of the day, he's not ready to go. So you're going to start Jack Conklin. But then next week, what do? Right? Well, Jed Wills is ready to go now. He got a full week of practice. And are you just going to slide him back in there? No. If Jack plays well, keep him in there. And you've got a big flip on the offense. And again, we talk so much about this scheme and what this team is going to look like offensively. But that could be a big shakeup. Just go with the best you got. That's right now Jack Conklin. We move forward on it. We'll see how it goes. But I'm keeping him in there as long as I can.
Yeah, I am as well. And I think there's still a greater than 50% chance. Listen, one of them's going to get hurt. One of them's going to miss a game, right?
Yeah,
Jed Wills is going to go in there.
And
there's a school of thought that it's possible Jed Wills comes in and when he gets his chance, he plays and has his best season ever. And then you're still looking at a potential extension, right? I mean, you're still drafting, you're still drafting a tackle without a doubt. And quite frankly, I wish they did it in the draft this year. A lot of people said, listen, Mike Hall, that's still going to be determined. Obviously, he's on the exempt list. To be seen if that's a good pick. But there were some good tackles there that they could have picked up.
Yeah, and then you talk about the salary cap that you have freed up a little bit. You can maybe make a move there. At this point, you just have to piece this together. And any NFL team has that. Look at some of the tackles that the Chiefs have had to run through, right? They had to go get Juwan Taylor out of Jacksonville for him to commit 15 holding penalties a game and all that kind of stuff. Like, they had to piece that. You can't have all pros at every position. So right now, you're piecing this together. You'll deal with it in the offseason. Right now, you have 2 guys. Which is good. And you're right. Eventually, unfortunately, somebody might get hurt. And you're going to have to play that shuffle game. But for right now, they're rolling with Jack Conklin. I think that's the right thing to do. Now, we knew you were running with Deshaun Watson. Couple things on Watson this morning. So, Dan Graziano and Jeremy Fowler, they do this every week, and it's one of my favorite things they do on ESPN. It's like a mailbag type of thing. They do their latest buzz, upset predictions, and all that kind of stuff. So they started out this morning with the question of which big-name quarterback returning from a season-ending injury is primed for the biggest year. So you got quite a few options of guys that got hurt. Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, Anthony Richardson, and Kirk Cousins, and of course
Trevor Lawrence too.
And Trevor Lawrence. I think about that too. I mean, he played most of the year.
Yeah, he did.
But
he's playing on one leg.
Yeah. And that's watching some of those games with him. That's how we beat them, right?
Yeah.
That's the game we faced him. He had that high ankle sprain, and he was not himself. So they ran through their big-name quarterbacks, which one is to be primed for the biggest season. Graziano says Anthony Richardson. There's nothing but upside with him. When I just, that's so hard because we've not seen him, right? Like, it's not like a guy like any of these other quarterbacks we're talking about where I've seen him on an NFL field and play. How many games did he get in? Like 1 or 2 last year?
No, he played 3. I think he played 3 full games. Got hurt in the fourth. But the third and fourth, he was still dealing with an injury, and then he got hurt again. But dude, you know me, I'm the biggest Anthony Richardson truther. You look at him, what is he, 6'5", 230?
He's got it all.
6'6", actually. He's probably the biggest quarterback in the NFL right now, and I think easily the best athlete.
Yeah. Jeremy Fowler says, sure, Steichen's a good call there with Anthony Richardson. He talks about Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins. They bring that up with, of course, Cousins. He's got all those offensive weapons down there in Atlanta. But, of course, Kyle Pitts has a freaking hamstring now. We'll wait for that. Then they get down to Deshaun Watson. And this is what Jeremy Fowler wrote. No player on this list has more riding on the season than Deshaun Watson. And he says, it's not about the money, but more reestablishing himself as a top guy. Fowler asked the tough question. Has Watson lost his fastball forever? Or does he just need more time to rediscover it? 4 or 5 years ago, Deshaun Watson had star power that opponents can feel from the moment he walked into the stadium. He doesn't scare teams like that anymore. But if he can regain, as Fowler writes, even 90% of what he was, then of course, he's a guy that you have to worry about. Now, this comes off of what Deshaun Watson said yesterday. And it's my fault. I didn't clip this. I should have. Watson was asked if he still considers himself an elite quarterback, and he said, of course I do. There's no doubt. Well, there's doubt for everybody else. And I appreciate Deshaun taking that tact, right? And they were asked, they asked Deshaun yesterday about the outside noise and outside opinions, and he gave the player answer, man. We don't listen to that, and we don't, pay attention to that and all that kind of stuff. But for Deshaun Watson, the one thing that I don't know if we've actually talked a lot about is the mental side that he is going to have the biggest uphill battle in his career. Because think about it. When he was in high school, he was the cat's rear end. He goes to Clemson, he's great. He goes to Houston, instant success. Then the suspension, then coming to Cleveland, then the injury. I'm going to ask Deshaun Watson to do something that he has actually never done in his career, and that's climb the mountain again. When he was climbing it, it was all good. Things were great. And he probably, when he was in Houston, sat there and felt like, I'm going to do this for 15 years, and I'm going to go win a Super Bowl, and I'm going to make all of this money and do all of these things. And then by his own actions, that all came to a crashing halt. And again, you could say, well, he's tried to climb out the last couple of years. All right, that first year here in Cleveland, that's a wash. There was nothing that was going to happen with him coming off the suspension. Now, you factor in the injury from last year, you could say he got off to a good start and he started climbing that mountain again. This has got to be the low. Even more than the suspension. Even more than the time missed. This has got to be the lowest point of Deshaun Watson's career. And I'm going to need him to step up, brush himself off, strap up, and get out there and turn it around. But the thing that I guess the point I'm trying to get to is the flip that it's probably not going to be the way that he ever envisioned it. Now, he got $230 million fully guaranteed, okay? That all aside, he has had a giant, and this is life, man. We're talking about the 1-year anniversary of our show, right? All this stuff ties back in where you're on this path and you think it's good, and here it comes, man. Here's life. Here you go. You think you're in this way, and it's just not. I'm going to need him to step up, put this all aside, and prove that he can be the guy. And we know this season is going to be a long season. And I do think there's a good chance that he's here for quite some time, right? That they're all in and they hope that he can get back to the semblance of that player. But I think just kind of reading through that, it reminds me about, it's, yes, the physical part of it, sure. But reading that line from Fowler, when he goes, when Deshaun Watson pulled into the stadium, teams were going, we got an uphill battle today, man. And now, even as Browns fans, do you feel that? Do you feel that? That the Dallas Cowboys are coming here on Sunday worried about Deshaun Watson? I think they're worried about Myles Garrett. I think they're worried about Denzel Ward. I think they're worried about maybe Amari Cooper. I don't know how a Mike Zimmer-led defense is sitting there saying, yeah, we're really worried about Deshaun Watson. That's even step one of this whole thing, is getting back out there and making defenses game plan against you. Well, let's call it for what it's due. He has to stay healthy, right? I just ran through that whole list of quarterbacks that missed time last year. Dude, he could twist a freaking ankle. He could hit his hand on a helmet following through. Like, all that stuff, it's just like, that's why this is just such on a razor edge when it comes to Watson. And the only thing that's going to fix that is playing. The only thing that's going to change that is him getting out there and reestablishing himself and showing not just Browns fans, but the rest of the NFL that he can still be that guy. And I just don't want to undersell how hard of a job I think that's going to be. From a mental side, from an offensive side. And the money is not a problem to me anymore. The draft picks are over. Fine. I'm just talking about, you are going to go ask a player to reestablish himself as elite. How often does that really happen? How hard is that? When you see somebody, specifically in football, I was trying to think baseball, I was trying to think basketball, I'm trying to think just of football. The last player, probably even specifically quarterback, that lost it in the way that Deshaun Watson did. And again, with what his actions were or what he did or didn't do, I'm talking about a guy that was viewed elite that now is probably a 20-something ranked quarterback. Okay, I'm trying to think, right? Like, seriously, Peyton Manning dealt with injury. He came back, though. It was 1 year. I'm talking about 3 years that it's been. And I just kept trying to think of a quarterback and come up with a guy. You know, you might say Kurt Warner, right? Kurt Warner was jettisoned off to NFL Europe, right? And then he came back, greatest show on turf, won Super Bowl, good, great. But, like, even that's a little bit, like, I'm trying to find the path and understand how hard I think it's going to be for Deshaun Watson to do that. And that comes back to what has been my take for weeks, Ryan. Go in low. Go in low with your expectations. Go in that we are starting back at step one. I almost want to look like Deshaun Watson is my rookie quarterback. Protect him, make it easy, and rebuild this up. We need to rebuild Deshaun Watson. And there are people out there that just want to say, it's fine, he'll be back. Okay. But I, for one, am excited for this season, as I always am, and I'm going to root for the Browns to win every freaking game, and I want to go to the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to set aside how hard I think this rebuild is going to be. And you say, this team's not rebuilding. No, because you have a bunch of good pieces everywhere, but the most important one is a rebuild project. I don't know if you work on cars. The engine's apart. It's scattered. When it was running, it was humming, man. But it's sitting in your garage right now on the hoist with everything taken apart. Got to put it back together. And understand, even when you do put it back together, it still might not be the same. It still might not be exactly the same. Now, the other side is it could be even better. And I would love that to be the case. But I'm not going to sell this short on what this rebuild is going to be. And I'm not trying to fan scared either for Sunday, right? I'd love for him to go out there and throw for 400 yards. I'm not expecting that. But I'm one, call me Daryl Morey, I'm one that's in for this process. And I know that this is going to be a game over game, adding little things. The issue is people want them to come out blazing. They want them out of the blocks fast. And you got an opportunity because you're facing freaking Dallas to start. You have a big opportunity in front of you. But when it comes to Watson, that line from Fowler is what just like, oh man, that's right. Dude, he used to walk into arenas or stadiums, Huntington Bank Field, if you will. And people would go, well, we're in the deficit today. That's not where we're at anymore.
Yeah, you're talking about a guy who 3, 4, 5 years ago was ranked in the top 15 of the NFL players in the entire league.
Anybody would have traded for him. Anybody outside of like Patrick Mahomes, anybody would have him.
You wouldn't put Deshaun Watson in your probably top 200 players in the NFL, and that's the reality of it. And now you're asking a guy who hasn't played a full season in, 3 years?
Basically.
Barely any football, hasn't touched a football field since that Ravens game, to come out here and wow us. And it is a lot. Not only that, but you're asking him to compete with the Patrick Mahomes, the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons. Everybody knows how stacked this AFC is. It's honestly maybe the most quarterback heavy I've ever seen in my lifetime.
I would completely agree with you. I've never seen it like this in my life, and I'm a little older than you, but like I've never seen it where there are truly that many competitive teams and paid quarterbacks and franchise quarterbacks. You're 100% correct on that.
Yeah.
And that's like, go figure us. We finally get competitive, and now, like back in the day, yeah, Tom Brady had the lock on it, but you had to go through what? Peyton Manning, Phillip Rivers, Big Ben, and Tom Brady. That was about it, right? Like, for a decade, that's how it was. And now you have Mahomes, who is basically Tom Brady. Everything runs through him. But now you've got all the rest of these guys that are primed and ready to go. It's a tough road to go.
The mental hurdles that Deshaun Watson has to face are absolutely countless. You talk about you're looming on the worst contract in NFL history without a doubt. Yeah. You are looming of watching your old team be more successful than you were when you were there with CJ Stroud. Yeah. Right? Now you're coming in and we're asking you to put the Browns on the map and lead us to the playoffs.
That's a great point, too, about watching Houston. Yeah.
I can't imagine the struggle he's going to watching the national media, the local media, absolutely have no faith in him. And you can't blame us for that.
Well, no, and that's where, again, coming in low for me, I'm not going to start this show on Monday, even if it goes horribly bad. I'm not going to start this show Monday and go, all right, time for Dorian Thompson. I might as well put big play zone Jameis Winston in there. Like, I'm not going to do that. Because you talk about you want to see the best of Deshaun Watson. Yeah, it'd be nice to see it Sunday. I'd rather see it in December. I'd rather see it when you're in a playoff hunt coming down January. As long as we get there. Now, the other inherent issue is what? You cannot waste away another season. You're wasting another year of Myles Garrett, of Denzel Ward, of this team that is primed to go. You can't waste anymore. It's time to go now. It's hard. It's not easy to do. And I'm sure the rest of the team is going to be looking at the same thing. You got no prayer if Deshaun Watson sucks. You know that, I know that, and the players on that team know that. You have no prayer if Deshaun Watson sucks. What you need to do is build it back up. Let's just, again, I'm not trying to fan scare. I'm not trying to tell you to pump the brakes. Like, I'm excited. I am so jacked for this game on Sunday. Media Lot opens at 8:30 on Sunday. It's going to be a long day for some of you out there.
Yeah.
Grab your garage beer. Get on out there. Garage beers. Again, golf outing beer and that's like the perfect golf outing tailgate beer. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
But it's going to be a long day, and I'm not trying to downplay the excitement for Sunday, but you got to start taking these steps, and it's going to be small. I think it's going to be small, incremental type of things. And know that you also might be doing all the right things, and he had another setback. He has a bad game. It happens. With all that in mind, we head over to Nick Shook, NFL.com. He ranks all 32 starters entering the 2024 season. And this will get us to our Twitter question this morning. Before we flip over, we got some guards to talk about. And, of course, we're going to do all of our predictions for the NFL season coming up. So would you like to start at the top? The bottom would be interesting. Who do you think is dead last?
Dead last.
Let's start with that
all 32 teams, huh?
All 32 teams. Who do you think is dead last?
Man, okay. Well, let me start by asking this, because is it a rookie quarterback? It's not a rookie quarterback.
No, Jaden Daniels was 30, which I think is a little low for me.
Which is low, fine. But I mean,
I'm a Jaden Daniels. Bo Nix was 29, Caleb Williams 28.
Worst quarterback, starting quarterback.
Correct.
In the entire NFL.
Yes.
I don't love this, and I don't think it's true. I actually think there'll be a bounce-back season. I know you hate him. I don't want to say hate him. You hate his game. You don't think he's going to be good. Did they put...
It's not Bryce Young.
Okay. I was going to say Bryce Young.
He was 31, though.
Okay.
So there's only one worse.
One worse quarterback. Wow. I mean, the easy answer last year was Zach Wilson, no doubt.
He's not, yeah.
He's not a starter. There's no...
It's a little tie to Zach Wilson, kind of, in this.
A little tie to Zach Wilson.
Kind of.
Okay, Gardner Minshew's not the worst quarterback.
It's not. And actually, Shook gave some love to Gardner Minshew. Like, he's got Minshew up at 26 ahead of Darnold and all the rookies.
Okay, and I don't think this guy's going to be last, but seriously, I mean, at what point do we stop giving a little bit of grace to Daniel Jones?
It is Danny Dimes.
I like that.
It is Danny Dimes was 32nd. All right, let's go back to the top now. Nick Shook's 1 through 32 starting quarterback rankings. Number 1,
Patrick Mahomes.
That is absolutely correct. Number 2.
And they go back and forth between who's the second best quarterback. This is where you start to get different, but listen, I'm going to go the 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson.
The 2-time. We better watch how we say that because that 2-time guy got in a lot of trouble. The 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson is number 2. Nobody got that reference. If you're a gamer, you know about the 2-time that you know about that. Dr. Disrespect.
What's the 2-time reference?
He used to call himself the 2-time because he was the back-to-back like blockbuster gamer of the year. So he'd always call himself the 2-time. That guy's done. That guy's over. Google that. Don't do it on a work computer. Number 3.
Yes.
It's got to be the other guy. Lamar's 2, so this guy has to be 3.
Josh Allen?
That is correct. Number 4.
A lot of people would have a problem with that. A lot of people hate Josh Allen.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, a lot of turnovers.
Number 4, I will say they're giving it back to Joe Burrow.
It is not. He is 5.
Okay. See, listen. Number 4, or this is number... Yes,
you need number 4. Yeah. Burrow is 5, so this guy's 1 spot ahead of Joe Burrow.
I would seriously listen to putting up Dak Prescott up there.
It's not. He was 6.
Okay.
So you're swirling. So again, we got 1, 2, 3. You need 4. You have Burrow 5. Dak is 6.
Okay. Then I imagine, I don't think this guy would slide out of the top 6, Jalen Hurts.
No.
Did he?
No. I mean, he didn't slide out of the top. Well, he didn't slide out of the top 10. I'll put you that.
Okay.
They put C.J. Stroud at 4.
I
mean, a rookie year, like I get it,
yeah.
So he's 4. Burrow 5, Dak 6, Aaron Rodgers 7, Jordan Love 8.
Respect it.
Justin Herbert 9. 1 spot ahead of Jalen Hurts. Now, I am a Justin Herbert apologist too, and he's at 9. I'd even tell you that's too high. Hurts is 10, Goff 11,
Give me
Tua 12.
Okay. I think too low. I think Stafford should have been named.
Brock Purdy 13, Matt Stafford 14. Baker Mayfield 15, Kirk Cousins 16, Trevor Lawrence 17, Kyler Murray 18, Geno Smith 19, Derek Carr 20, Anthony Richardson 21, Will Levis 22, Jacoby Brissett 23.
Wow. I'm just waiting for you to say, oh, wait, is Watson next? Or no?
Russell
yes,
Wilson,
I knew it. I was waiting for that.
25. Deshaun Watson.
And you can't complain about it. But who cares?
Nick's write-up. The vibes are eerie in Cleveland right now regarding Watson, who didn't play in the preseason and isn't fueling a lot of positive narratives heading into week 1.
That was a bad pun.
What?
The vibes are eerie in Cleveland.
Oh.
See, that one slipped past you.
Nice. I thought you were talking about narratives or something like that. Yeah, eerie in Cleveland. Nice job, Nick. I like that. He said it doesn't help that 2024 is yet another season that's dependent on the same question we've been asking for years. What do the Browns have in Watson? Frankly, nobody knows. Watson appeared to be turning a corner when he led the Browns to a comeback win over Baltimore in Week 10 last season, then disappeared to injury reserve because of the shoulder injury. Those typically don't bode well for quarterbacks. Either Watson will prove the doubters wrong, or will put the Browns in an uncomfortable and unfortunately familiar situation regarding that position in 2025. if I wanted to be a real negative person on this, I'd sit there and say, well, Jacoby Brissett's ahead of this. Well, Baker Mayfield's ahead of this. There's that chance. And again, this is just Nick's write-up. And you're right. You can't complain about that. But also, do you really think Will Levis is going to be better than Deshaun Watson this year? Do you really think, I guess Anthony Richardson could be Derek Carr, Geno Smith. It's the unfortunate reality of right now we have nothing to go off of. And of all the quarterbacks, here's another thing too, talking about Watson, the mental side of it. Of all the quarterbacks facing all this scrutiny, does he not probably have the most of it just because of what happened in the contract? All the rest of these guys, yes, maybe have more tangible play, but you can make an apt comparison to say Deshaun Watson when he was in Houston was kind of doing what Joe Burrow was. Now again, Burrow went to a Super Bowl and he's been to an AFC Championship game. Deshaun Watson went to one playoff game and lost it while he was in Houston, right?
Yeah, I believe he lost the Bills.
You try to grasp at some of this stuff, but again, it seems so long ago when you factor in all. So my point is he's dragging a heavier weight than the rest of those guys. He's dragging the heaviest weight out of any of these quarterbacks, even more than, again, Will Levis or Russell Wilson or of any starting quarterback. Seriously, of any starting quarterback in the NFL, there is no one that has more dragging them down than Deshaun Watson. Now, again, he created some of this on his own. It's his own fault on some of it. But none of those guys are dragging this weight around that he has.
Because nobody outside of that list, maybe Russell Wilson that we're talking about, had a prime that Deshaun Watson did.
That's exactly I was saying. When do you find a guy that recaptures their eliteness? I think
when
that's
you were going
really
through that, I could not think of one.
Seriously, find me a guy that recaptured it after they lost it. And I'm running through quarterbacks. I'm running through guys. And it's again, Tom Brady tore his ACL the one year. Okay, fine. He came back. Peyton Manning had his injury. Sure, fine. I'm talking about a true gap of multiple seasons that a guy resurrected. Honestly, you can maybe make the case about Baker Mayfield. Now, again, Baker's career is pretty similar to what Deshaun's done at this point. Now, Baker never led the league in passing or did some of the numbers that Deshaun Watson did, but he's now taken. You're literally going to ask Deshaun Watson to do what Baker Mayfield did. You're going to ask him to do what Baker did for Tampa Bay, get them back to the playoffs. That's it. But I really, that list I can't really think of a real good example of that, which is going to be hard. So 25th. Oh, is that too low or too high? I don't think anybody would say it's too high. But, do you think that's too low? Truthfully, I think it is. Will Levis, come on now. Jacoby Brissett, Russell, again, Wilson, maybe I could listen to. Here's the ones I have the most issue being ahead of Watson. Brissett, Levis, again, I'd like to say Derek Carr. I don't really like Geno Smith all that much. But I guess, really, I don't have much to stand on in this. I don't have much to stand on it with that.
Yeah, these aren't rankings of who you'd rather have this season. I don't think.
Right.
It's what you base off of last year.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get where you're at. All right, we're going to do this. We're going to come it up. It's going to be at least 45 minutes of us just doing all of our divisional breakdowns. So we're going to get to that as our preseason primer for the NFL season coming up. Quick on the guards. Can't start Ben Lively in a playoff game. And all you're going to ask is for him to finish this out. Maybe you put him on the IL. I don't know. And it was so hard to hear Lively after the game. He sounds so defeated. And August was really bad for him. It was a bad start for him again last night. And he just had the line of, at my age, I can't be doing that. And that's just bro, that's so hard. And I hope he can get you a couple of wins here on out. But you are now at a point. Alex Cobb and Matthew Boyd are going to be starting. I hope Gavin Williams, too. But, I don't know how much I can trust Lively for a playoff game. And maybe he can go to the bullpen, and he can help you out there. And I'm sure, I'll tell you this. I need 2 more wins out of Ben Lively this month. With all the series you have coming up, you're not taking him out of the rotation at this point. I'm going to need him to pick it up here. I'm going to need him to pick up a couple more wins. So yesterday for the Guardians, I'm not, listen, man, it is what it is. You took 2 out of 3. Did the Twins lose again last night? They did. Didn't they get smoked last night?
9-4.
What's that?
9-4.
That's
they
it.
lost to the
Yeah,
Rays.
so they lost. You're 4.5 up on the Royals and the Twins. Off day today, and you're out there in LA to take on the Dodgers. Speaking of the Dodgers, Kylie McDaniel, ESPN MLB insider, the strongest core in baseball, not like your core of your abs, the core of your team. Number one, the LA Dodgers.
Hands down.
Elites with Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman.
They did just get smoked by the Angels yesterday.
That's fine. You add Tyler Glasnow, Yamamoto, Will Smith, Max Muncy, and then solid on the way out. Number two, the Atlanta Braves. Acuna Jr., Spencer Strider are both hurt. Chris Sale had a career resurgence there. They're number two. Number three,
Phillies.
no.
Yanks.
No.
Orioles.
Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, Jordan Westberg. Okay. Number four, strongest cores in baseball.
Is it not a team I've said?
No.
Really?
I don't know if I buy this one, but Seattle.
No.
Julio Rodriguez, Randy Arozarena, Logan Gilbert, Cal Raleigh.
They're not winning their division.
Okay. Number five, the Phillies. Harper, Zach Wheeler, Trey Turner. And at number six, your Cleveland Guardians.
So I'm curious, before you go into this.
Yes.
I'm curious because the answer to this question of who would you consider the core of this group, right? A couple months ago, before All-Star break, without a doubt, what would it be? It'd be Jose, it'd be Steven Kwan, it'd be Josh Naylor.
Correct.
Now, I mean, what's the core? Because Kwan, another 0 for 4 day. Jose, by Jose standards, hasn't lived up to it.
Right.
Josh Naylor's been on a downhill slide. What right now is the Guardians' core?
So here's how Kylie does this. He starts with the elite players on the team, the plus players on the team, and then solid, okay? So it's three basically divided up. On the elite side of it, he only puts Jose Ramirez. That's it.
Is this just hitters? Because Bobby
No. The plus side is Kwan, Jimenez, Bybee, and Emmanuel Clase.
Yeah, I would put Bybee up. Well,
I put Clase.
Yeah,
I put Clase in elite too.
Clase certainly, and I'd put
How
Bybee
is he not
there, too.
elite? Your solids, Bazana, John Kenzie.
Zana.
Yeah, I mean, he put him in here. Chase DeLauder's on the solid list, too, and they haven't taken an MLB pitch ever. So, I mean, it's interesting. So, the solid list. Bazana, John Kenzie Noel, Gavin Williams, Chase DeLauder, Cade Smith, Hunter Gaddis, Bo Naylor, Ben Lively, Henches, Rocchio, Eli Morgan, Manzardo, Fry, Angel Genoa.
Why don't they just list
There
their whole
was
team?
not a Josh Naylor mentioned in this.
I mean, his splits the last 2 months.
Now, here's the reason why, as I read it further. They didn't put Bieber or Josh Naylor because they don't qualify due to contractual control. So this has to be a core that is here for at least a couple of years.
Okay.
And he said the top two tiers look a lot like they did last year, outside of Tristan McKenzie falling off, and the Guardians adding Travis Bazana. Cleveland still has depth of a top 10 farm system, highlighted by the breakout prospect of John Kenzie Noel, and has most of its young talent locked up. Surprisingly, the starting pitching in this core is a little light, but has created solid starting pitching at a low investment. One of the things the Guardians do better than anyone. So 6th of our core rankings. And you're right, I want to bring it up because you think about who's the core. Ramirez, certainly. He's not going anywhere. Awesome. You got Jimenez on a really good contract. I think it's maybe time to talk about another extension. I know he's on the 5-year deal, but maybe another one coming for Clase. I'd still sign Steven Kwan. If you sat down right now and said, would you offer a contract to Steven Kwan, I would still do it, but it's been a tough go of it. And then same thing, Bybee. I still think there's a world they extend Shane Bieber. You want to see, he'll be back next year on a 1-year deal, no problem. But, you kind of want to see it. I kind of hope out for another 3-4 year deal for Shane Bieber. But want to get a little bit of baseball in. I'm not reading too much into that loss yesterday. It is what it is. They're back in tomorrow against the LA Dodgers. All right, Ryan, it is that time for our 2024 NFL season preview. Let's roll. Here we go. Let's go. Here's how it's going to roll. We're going to go division by division. And I will make a note. I should probably get this out. We'll go back and watch the show. We are going to make our picks for each division in football and all of our awards kicking off tonight. And by the way, we'll get to our plays tonight for the Chiefs and the Ravens coming up a little bit later. So this is how it's going to go. We are going to start on the NFC side of things, the NFC East. I've got all the books, okay? Eagles are the favorites. Anywhere between -150 and -125. The Cowboys are next. I've got them at about plus 170, plus 185. Commanders and then the Giants are your long shot there in the NFC East. Of course, last year, Dallas won the title for the second time in 3 seasons. But here's the thing about the NFC East. They have not had consecutive division title winners since 2004. Your last ones, Cowboys, Eagles, Cowboys. Washington won it at 7-9 in 2020. Then it's just been Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles, Cowboys, all the way back. The Giants have not won the division since 2011, and I don't think that'll happen again. Ryan, place your bet. NFC East, Cowboys, Eagles.
Oh, who said it's between those two?
Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
it's between those two.
between
No doubt, Giants, I have them finishing last. Listen, the Commanders, I think, are going to be pretty good the next...
I agree.
In a few years. I like Dan Quinn revamping that defense. I think Cliff Kingsbury in an air raid with Jaden Daniels will feed families in the upcoming years. However, too young of a team. Jaden Daniels is a rookie. They are not going to compete with the Cowboys and Eagles. It brings us down to those two, Matt. And I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles.
I will agree.
I'm betting on talent here. I think Jalen Hurts is very good. We've seen what he did. He was almost an MVP just 2 years ago. You lock up A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. You bring in Saquon Barkley. I don't love Nick Sirianni. I think he could be gone next season, but I think there's some shakeup in Dallas. Dak's playing on a contract year. Outside of CeeDee Lamb, you don't have much on offense. I think at the end of the day, the Eagles will win the NFC East this season.
I think they have too much talent. It is too supremely talented. Like, Dallas, you're on Dak, CeeDee, and Micah Parsons. That's it. And I can look at that Eagles, and just like of all the guys you mentioned, even if Hurts isn't all that, Saquon, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, the players they have on defense, like, I think it's too supremely talented. And I also think they might actually even overcome the deficiencies of Nick Sirianni. Like, the reason I'm going to pick the Eagles with you, too, is I just think there's games are going to win on talent alone.
Yep.
And that's hard to do in the NFL, but they have too much to not do it. And I will also just buy the trend on this, that they're not going to be repeat champions, not going to be Dallas, so I will go with the Philadelphia Eagles as well. Best odds right now, go to DraftKings, minus 125. Longest is 150 at BetMGM. And...
Are you writing these down, or you want me to keep track of them?
I was going to write them down if you want me to get my piece of paper out. I was reaching over to get it. We can always go back and just watch it.
Yeah.
You know.
Up to you. Make my life a little bit easier when I make the graphic.
Yeah. You want to see my write-up about my cable bill?
Not really.
That's what's on this paper. I was doing that yesterday. All right, here we go. NFC East, Philly. There we go. Next up, we will go to the NFC North. Betting favorite right now, plus money for the Detroit Lions. They are anywhere between plus 115 and plus 130. Packers are second, plus 225, plus 210. The Bears, sneaky at plus 350. The Vikings, the long shot, anywhere between plus 900 and plus 1,100. By the way, I should mention this too. When it's plus money, if I bet $100, I would win 130 for Lions. If it's plus 130, if I bet 100, I win 130. That's how that goes. Now, the Lions opened as plus 150. So it's only been bought down to about 130, 120. So a little bit of money on the Lions. The movement has been stagnant on the Packers at plus 225. Here's on the NFC North. For the first time since 1993, the Lions were crowned division champions. However, going into the season, with them being the favorite, they become the third different team to win the NFC North in the last 3 seasons. So there's been a lot of turnover there. Lions won it last year, Vikings the year before, ending a 3-year run for the Packers. The last time the Bears won the division was 2008 under that magical season with Mitch Trubisky and Matt Nagy. Your line, or I'll start this one, NFC North. So here's where I'm at. I got to write the Vikings off. I don't want to, but I have to. The Bears, I think those odds are just like, I think that's all Caleb Williams. And I'm one that I've not been drinking the Caleb Williams Kool-Aid like a lot of people. But you understand, they got Keenan Allen, and they got DJ Moore, and they get Rome Odunze. Like, they have a lot of talent on that team. I just don't really trust Matt Eberflus there in Chicago. So it wouldn't shock me if the Bears made the playoffs, but they're not winning this division. So when you come down to the Lions and the Packers, what is the knock that I could give for the Detroit Lions? Well, there's only one place to go, and that's down. Do you have the hangover with Dan Campbell after him screwing up that NFC Championship game? There's just so much pressure on the Lions. And as much as I talked about the Eagles just being able to bludgeon teams with their talent, that should also be the Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams is a breakout candidate. Aiden Hutchinson's up there for Defensive Player of the Year. They've got a decent secondary. I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Okay.
But I don't want to. But I will go with Detroit in the North. Ryan.
Yes, I think similar to the NFC East, this will be a two-legged race. Vikings will be bottom of the barrel, although I don't think they'll be as bad as everybody thinks they will be. Now, you flip it over to the Bears, I think similar to the Commanders, a couple years from competing. Don't believe in Matt Eberflus. I don't think he's going to be the coach that ultimately gets them to turn that franchise around. So it leaves us to the Lions and Packers, Matt, and I am conflicted as well. I think
like the Packers
Lions on paper. The Lions on paper are super talented. You saw what they did last year. However, I am going to go with the Packers to win. Best coach in the division in Matt LaFleur, 56-27 since 2019, Matt. That's only worse than the Chiefs and Bills in that span. Matt LaFleur does not lose games. Jordan Love, back half of last season, Matt, looked like one of, if not the best quarterbacks in the entire NFL. He took that into the playoffs, beat the Cowboys, almost beat the 49ers. The receiving core between Watson, Dobbs, Jaden Reed, he's got some talent there. You bring in Josh Jacobs. I simply think this is going to be a case of the best coach and the best quarterback beat the Detroit Lions. Give me the Packers.
I love the Packers, and I love Jordan Love. We'll get to our MVP picks later. I love him as a sleeper. It wouldn't shock me in the least, but for right now, I will take Detroit. We go out west. Actually, let's go to the NFC South. Let's try to do this a little bit geographically here. As we start here, the Falcons, a slight favorite to win the South, of course, this offseason, highlighted by the getting of Kirk Cousins, a new regime with Raheem Morris, which gives me a little pause for concern. Falcons somewhere between 130 and 140, minus 130 and minus 140. You'd have to bet $140 to win 100. As a minus favorite. The Buccaneers are second, which I kind of like. Plus 300, about average. Saints somewhere around plus 400, and the Panthers, who have no shot in hell, at plus 1,200, plus 1,100, somewhere that. The Buccaneers picked up their third consecutive NFC South title, but did it with just a 9-8 record last year. The Bucs own the longest odds to win the division last year at 7-1. But Tampa Bay posted a better record last year than they did of Tom Brady's final season in 2022 when they made it at 8-9. Tampa Bay has won it 3 straight after the Saints won the division 4 years in a row. Here's your shocker. Atlanta has not won the NFC South since 2016. The Panthers, with Cam Newton, won it 3 years prior to that in 2015, 14, and 13. So it's been a long time coming for Atlanta. I don't know if I like the Raheem Morris hire, okay? And I get that Kirk Cousins has all of these weapons and all these guys, but I've not seen it. I know Bijan Robinson is very good, but it's a small sample size. I don't know what Kyle Pitts is or isn't. He had Heineke and Desmond Ridder throwing to him. And I frankly think Drake London's overrated, but that's just me. So if you're going to give me the Bucs at plus 300, I have to take that bet.
Okay, so is this your value pick, or do you truly believe the Buccaneers are going to win the division?
I'm taking the value on this. Now, well, I mean, I would have to say I believe Tampa's going to win the division. I do. 4 years in a row. Give me Tampa. Give me Tampa. I'm going to take them. I think they got a little bit better of a defense. I will take Tampa in the South. I can't believe I am, but that's what I'm going to do. I will fully admit, I think the value has a lot to do with that. Give me plus 300 on that. Tampa Bay is my pick.
Already. Well, I will not be taking Tampa Bay, so we'll differ for the 2 out of the first 3 picks here, Matt.
Saints?
I'm not picking the Saints. Dennis Allen is, without a doubt, a lame duck coach. I think Spencer Rattler will overtake the starting role at some point in this season. Derek Carr is on the downslide of his career. The Panthers don't know what they're doing, although Dave Canales is a good coach. Bryce Young still has a lot to work on, and that's another reason I'm not taking Tampa Bay. They lose Dave Canales. I think Baker Mayfield is a very formidable quarterback. I don't think they're making it back to the playoffs. That means I am left with the Atlanta Falcons to win that division. I do like the Raheem Morris hire. I think he's going to get the defense sitting right. You bring in Zach Robinson, also from the Rams, who's been under Sean McVay for the last 5 years. You give him a competent quarterback, not only a competent quarterback in my mind, I think a top 12 quarterback when healthy, and Kirk Cousins with those weapons around. Remember, Drake London was the first receiver taken in that class. Right. I think he's a great talent, actually. You have Kyle Pitts. We'll see what he turns into. Bijan Robinson is already a top 5 running back in the league going into his second year. I think they got a great formula going on. And like you said, anything is an upgrade from Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke last year. Give me the Falcons to win the NFC South.
I kind of am a little worried about Cousins getting hurt again, to be completely honest with you. I'd keep my eye on that. You're getting 35. I know he's coming off the Achilles. That was kind of a freak thing, but a little worried about that with Kirk Cousins. Final one, for the NFC side of things, the NFC West. The second largest favorite on the board is the 49ers, about minus 200. You'd have to bet $200 to win 100. The Rams are second at plus 350. Seahawks plus 600 and beyond. The Cardinals plus 13, plus 1,400. And it's interesting that the odds have come down because San Francisco opened as a minus 225 favorite. This is primed for me to pick up a few extra bucks, and I will very clearly be going with the 49ers here. They won the division last year when they were just minus 175 favorites, so they have a bigger odds this year to do it. And the 49ers are the first team since the 2018 Rams to win the NFC West as the preseason favorite. Now, also, this division has had a lot of ups and downs where all 4 of these teams, outside of the Cardinals, like you've had the 49ers have won the past 2 years, then the Seahawks won it the year before, then back to the 49ers, then the Rams in 2018, then the Cardinals in 2015. So again, you've had a lot of ups and downs. We dismissed the Cardinals, I think, very much. 49ers is my Super Bowl pick this year. Get to that later, so I'm going to have to go with the 49ers.
Oh, man, I didn't even think about my Super Bowl pick.
Well, we'll get to that at the end. I want to do all of our playoff teams.
God.
We're going to do wild card, too. That's coming up, NFC wild card right after this, buddy, so get ready for that.
Okay. Oh, okay, we're doing that before AFC.
Yeah, we're doing all of the NFC, and then we're going to pick our wild card teams.
Okay. Matt, I cannot tell you how badly I want to take the Rams to win this division.
I need plus 300.
But.
Plus 300.
But.
350.
I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger.
Okay. You're probably doing
I'm
the right.
Going the 49ers, but hear me out. There's no doubt that Sean McVay is a top 5 head coach in the NFL. Similar to LaFleur, all he does is win, right? If Stafford is healthy, he plays 17 games, and you have Puka out there for 17 games and Cooper Kupp out there for 17 games, I don't think there's many defenses that can really stop that.
Yeah.
Kyron Williams is very good, but the reality is he's not close to Christian McCaffrey. And Kyle Shanahan stands toe-to-toe with Sean McVay. I think another reason I bet the Eagles, there's just way too much talent on the 49ers. I don't think we need to spend much more time past that. As badly as I want to take the Rams, and I will have them in my playoffs, I'm going to take the 49ers.
That is the right call. So now we go making the playoffs. And I'm going to start with the favorites in the NFC. But again, like we did our divisions, now this is just the playoffs. The 49ers are minus 500 to make the playoffs. The Eagles are minus 280. The Lions are minus 250. Now, the Falcons are minus 210. And we went back and forth. Dallas is minus 200. The Packers are minus 160. The Rams are minus 110. Ryan, I need 3 wild card teams for you. What do you got? You want me to start? So again, to reset,
you want me to go.
I've got Philly, Detroit, Tampa Bay, and the 49ers winning the divisions. So I will start in no particular order on my playoff. I guess I should go in order. I'm going to go Green Bay gets the 5 seed. I'm going to go with the LA Rams as the 6 seed. Now, I've got Tampa Bay winning the South. Can Atlanta then pick up that final wild card spot? Here's the 2 teams that I come down to: Seattle or Atlanta. The division is the factor for me in this.
Sorry, who are your 2 wild card teams?
I've got Green Bay and the Rams.
Okay.
So my third one is up between Atlanta and Seattle. I'm sorry, Chicago's not making it.
You're shipping out Dallas. Okay.
I am. And I will go with the Atlanta Falcons, the dirty South, the dirty birds, because I think they just play in the worst division, and I don't have Dallas making the playoffs.
All right.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. Love to see it. What can I get on that? Dallas to miss the playoffs, I get plus 160. Plus 160 if I want to place that bet. Ryan, your 3 wildcard teams, please.
Yes. All right. My first wild card spot, Matt. I will go the Detroit Lions.
Detroit.
Obviously, I have Green Bay winning that
Correct.
division.
Real quick, you have Philly, Green Bay, Atlanta, and the 49ers winning your division.
Yes.
Detroit, okay.
I will go with Detroit to get that first wild card spot. Way too talented to miss the playoffs.
I would agree with that.
Number 2, well, I said the Rams were a consideration for the NFC West. I don't think they're going to win that division. 49ers are way too good, but slot them in for my second wild card.
L.A. Rams, right.
My third final spot, I don't think 2 NFC South teams will make it. For me, it is
Seattle, Arizona, no. Chicago.
I can't believe I'm doing this, Matt.
Chicago.
Give me the Bears.
Wow!
Give me Caleb Williams.
Wow!
To fulfill his expectations and turn Chicago around, give them the final wild card spot. I will have 3 NFC North teams making the playoffs next season. Like you, I have Dallas missing the playoffs.
You have even money, minus 110 on each side for the Chicago Bears to either make or miss. So go ahead and place your bet for your even money for them to make it there. Final thing for us, NFC champion. I already said it. I got the 49ers going to the Super Bowl. I think this is a revenge tour for San Fran and crew. I got them going back to the Super Bowl. Right.
Man. I can't not put the 49ers in the NFC championship. And to me, it is between the LA Rams and the Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
Who the 49ers will be playing.
Oh, who they'll be playing. Okay.
Give me the Green Bay Packers to come out of the NFC. Jordan Love is going to have an MVP type season. Matt LaFleur gets to the Super Bowl for the first time in his career.
Wow.
And they look to get a ring post Aaron Rodgers.
Green Bay is plus 900 on FanDuel this morning. Plus 700 some other books, but you better get on FanDuel for the best odds there. 49ers plus 300, plus 250. They're a heavy favorite to win it. Eagles are plus 500. Lions around plus 550. Packers, as I mentioned, plus 900, plus 750. Then the Cowboys, then the Rams finishing it on out. So again, to recap our NFC predictions, I've got Philly, Detroit, Tampa Bay, and the 49ers as your division winners. Green Bay, Atlanta, and the Rams as my wild card teams, with the 49ers going to the Super Bowl. Ryan goes Philly, Green Bay, Atlanta, and the 49ers. We're both the same on Philly and Atlanta. Then you've got Detroit, LA, and Chicago all making it. Here's the only flips that we have. Basically, I traded out Tampa Bay for Chicago making the playoffs, but you and I have 5 of the same 6 teams making the playoffs. I've got Tampa Bay winning the division and making it. You have Chicago making it as a wild card, and then you've got Green Bay making the Super Bowl.
Is there enough room in the playoffs for 2 NFC South teams, Matt? You think there is?
Out. Here we go, AFC, and we'll start out east. The Jets are your favorites, plus money, plus 160 at most books. Bills are second at plus 180 to plus 190. The Dolphins at plus 200. Then the Patriots plus 2,800 of all the bottom barrel feeders. They are the longest odds to win the division. It opened at plus 125 for the Bills. The Dolphins were actually second. Ryan, you could have got the Jets at plus 300 over the summer. They're now down to plus 160. The Bills came back in the final game of the season last year to win their fourth consecutive AFC East championship. Finishing at 11-6, marking the fourth straight season they've won at least 11 games and cashing their preseason even odds to win the division. The AFC has watched the Bills capture the division each of the last 3 seasons after the Patriots won it for 11 consecutive years from 2009 to 2019. The last time the Dolphins won the division was in 2008, when prior to the season, they were plus 2,500. Ryan, what happened that year? Was that not the year that Tom Brady... No, he got hurt in 2007, right? When did he tear his ACL? I think it was that year, wasn't it? Anyway, I'm going to take those long odds again and give me the Miami Dolphins to win the East. It's not the Jets. It's not the Jets. The reason this number has been bought down is because it is New York, because people have been so much on Aaron Rodgers. I like Garrett Wilson. Mike Williams is fine. Breece Hall, I'm smelling an injury for him this year, unfortunately.
Oh, stop
I don't want it. I'm not asking for it. I'm just saying.
That.
I'm sorry. And the final thing, you know what I'm going to say, Robert Saleh doesn't even run his own team. The craziness, watch it start bad. Watch all this other crap start to come out about Aaron Rodgers and getting Devontae Adams and all this other crap. I might place the bet for the Jets to finish third in that division. They ain't going to finish last. There's no way it's going to happen. I think they finish third in that division. We'll get to our wild card teams in a minute. I'm taking Miami. I'm going to take them all day, bro. All day at plus 225, which is the best odds you can get right now. MGM and ESPN bet. 225. Give me the Dolphins. I think it's a big year for Miami. I think it's a big offensive, just juggernaut year for the Miami Dolphins. I know they're feeling on defense a little bit. Jalen Phillips starts on PUP. I get that. Bradley Chubb injured, sure. I think this is a big year for Mike McDaniel's paid up. Tua's good to go. Like, I feel there's a real... I tell you this, man. Of all of my... outside of the 49ers and the Chiefs. Of all my actual debate picks, this is my lock. This is my lock, Ryan. It's Miami all day in that division. But, all right, go ahead. You might be disagreeing. I'm trying to talk you into it. All right, Buffalo. Sure, you want to put everything on Josh Allen. That's fine. And they're going to run with James Cook, and they got Dalton Kincaid. I'm worried about Sean McDermott. Factor all this other stuff, too. And McDermott on the hot seat. Robert Saleh sucks. I'm not a giant Mike McDaniel fan, but they have everything cinched up there in Miami. I think this is their year. Dolphins all day long.
Man, I am going back and forth on this one. I think I know where I'm going to go. Obviously, you got the Patriots in the basement.
Yes.
I can't buy the Jets to win that division. Like, I do think this will be by far their best year in the solid Joe Douglas era. I just cannot buy into this career, not even career resurgence, but this Rodgers MVP type season that people are predicting.
I agree.
Can't quite buy into that. So obviously I'm left between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. My concern for Miami, I understand they're going to be probably one of the most efficient offensive teams in the league. You paid up Tua. Tyreek Hill was the number 1 player rated in the NFL. Jalen Waddle is one of the best wide receivers, too. You can have Devon Achane. If he stays healthy, he's going to have a monster season. My worry is Mike McDaniels in the second half of games is outcoached constantly. You lost a ton of pieces on defense, and like you said, they haven't won the division since, what was it, Matt?
They have not won the division. The Dolphins have not taken out since 2008. The Jets haven't won the division since 2002.
No. I understand why people are down on the Bills. You lose Stephon Diggs, you lose Gabe Davis, Sean McDermott might be on his way out.
I think he is.
But at the end of the day, for me, I think it's still going to remain the Josh Allen show.
All right.
I think you get rid of Diggs, Josh Allen is going to be more efficient, right? And that might not make sense, but I think what it's going to do is it's going to flip from a where's Stephon Diggs? If he's not open, I'm just getting my second read and I'm in panic mode. I think it's going to be more balanced this year. I think James Cook is going to have a good year. And this will get back to maybe my MVP pick. I might be hitting a little something here, but I think Josh Allen is going to have the best year of his career. And I think when the regular season, we can question how good he is in the playoffs and what the Bills do in the playoffs, but we're not there right now. It's been the Bills the last couple years. I'm still riding with the Bills. Josh Allen's the best quarterback in that division by far. Give me the Bills Mafia to win the AFC East.
I like it. All right, we go to the South now, one of the more tightly contested divisions. Texans, Jags, Colts, and Titans. Texans are the I shouldn't say slight, but they're about even money at most books, minus 105 or plus 105. Jags are pretty consistent in second, plus 275, plus 300 at a couple of books. Then the Colts, plus 320, plus 340, and the Titans in the cellar, pretty even across the board at plus 1,000. Of course, we had a massive show out for the Houston Texans last year, but let's not forget that they won that division in part of Anthony Richardson and Trevor Lawrence both having to deal with injuries and a big down year the year prior. Now, again, the Texans went from the worst to first with a 10-7 mark last year. They began the season a year ago as 8-1 favorites to win the division. And they needed a win over the Colts and a Jags loss, which they got, to win their first division title since 2019. So it went Houston last year to the Jags in 2022. Then the Titans went back-to-back in 2021 and 2020. So again, another division that all four of the, well, I shouldn't say this, the Colts haven't won the division since 2014, but the other three teams have each won it in the last 3 years. You're a big Anthony Richardson guy, and we know that. So I'll let you lead this off. AFC South, Texans plus 105, Jags plus 300, Colts plus 325. Ryan Tyler, your selection for the
Well,
South.
if anybody's been watching this show the last couple weeks, you already know my answer, so I'm just going to get right to it. I'm going with the Colts to win the AFC South. I think all the pieces are there. I think this is a breakout season for Anthony Richardson to put his name on the map for those that it already isn't. You've got Michael Pittman. You drafted Donnie Mitchell. Josh Downs is coming back in his second year, who had a very good rookie year, right? You have Jonathan Taylor. The offense is super balanced. Their defense is always consistent. You have Shane Steichen, who, reminds you, was the offensive coordinator when the Eagles went to the Super Bowl the year Jalen Hurts would have won MVP if he didn't get hurt the last 2 weeks of the season. I think that ingredients are all there for the Colts to win. I understand the appeal of the Texans. They were good last year. C.J. Stroud had the best rookie year we've ever seen. You add Stephon Diggs and Joe Mixon in that offense. I get the appeal. I still think Shane Steichen is the best coach in that division. I think Anthony Richardson is an absolute freak athlete. I think he's a very talented quarterback, and I'm going to take the talent alone there with Anthony Richardson to vault that offense to the next level. This is going to be Shane Steichen, Jalen Hurts. This is going to be the 2.0 show with Shane Steichen and Anthony Richardson. Give me the Colts to win the AFC South.
So here's an interesting thing, and I should have brought this up a little bit earlier. Strength of schedule. The Colts come in with the 7th easiest strength of schedule this season. Jacksonville is smack dab in the middle. They have the 15th easiest schedule. So again, literally in the middle. The Texans, by virtue of winning the division, have the 6th hardest schedule in the NFL from our friend Warren Sharp. And by the way, give another plug for our friend Warren who joined us. Warren does it on what the teams are going to be this year. Not like, oh, their record was this last year. No. Warren is projecting how hard their schedule is going to be for the future. That's why this is better than some of the other ones.
Colts won 9 games last year with Gardner Minshew for the majority of the season.
That's true. That's true.
Just pick the Texans, Matt.
You know I want to. You know I want to. I'm not believing the Colts. I've scratched the Colts off. So you know about me and the Jags. But I also am
Certainly
not
do.
a big believer in what Jacksonville's got cooking down there.
Here's the counterpoint to that, which I'm not totally sold into, is obviously I picked the Colts. Jaguars did start off 8-3 last year until Trevor Lawrence got hurt.
Right. But, like, do you just put it on that Brian Thomas and Christian Kirk are going to be back and fine? Evan Ingram had a big year. I like Travis Etienne. They got some solid guys on defense. All right. What I think... Oh, my God.
So you have Colts finishing third is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, buddy. Wait till we get our wild card teams, buddy. You hold on to that. I'm going to go Jags. I will go Jacksonville. Win the South. I don't know if like the 1 year flash in the pan, all that pressure, it's going to be Houston. Mark my words, it's going to be Houston. I know that, you know that, and neither one of us picked them. I'm going to go with the Jags to win the South. Let's head out west. One of the biggest favorites, the Chiefs. Ryan, some books have the Chiefs at minus 300. You'd have to bet $300 to win just 100 for the Chiefs taking this division down.
It honestly sounds like a good deal to me.
It's honestly because the Chargers are the only other possibility in this. The only other one. They're plus 375. And then they are the only division in football with two teams at plus 1,000 or more. The Raiders plus 1,100. The Broncos are plus 2,000 to win that division. The line has moved. Kansas City opened at minus 200. They're now up to 300 on this. Kansas City has the longest active streak for division championships at 8 consecutive AFC West titles. In spite of their fewest wins since 2007, they won the AFC West again. Now, the crazy thing, and I'm trying to remember the exact stat on this, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, I don't know if it's the 7 straight, but Ryan, the Chiefs have won the division by an average of like 4 games. It's not even like they're coming down to the last week of the season. They clinched this in like week 15 and walking on out. I have no reason to believe that they're not going to do that again, and I think it'd be crazy to pick anybody else. Kansas City is my pick here. I almost won't let you make another selection.
Yeah, just move on to the next.
KC it is for the AFC West. What?
I'm conflicted on so many things.
Okay. The final one for you, me, and everybody, the AFC North. Here's where we start. The Ravens are plus money at plus 140 at several books. The Bengals are hot on their heels at plus 150. The Browns plus 500. The Steelers plus 700. These odds are pretty same as they started when they opened. The Ravens were a slight favorite at plus 110. The Bengals are at plus 180. It's about held at that as we get ready to go. All 4 teams in the AFC North finished with a winning record this past season, highlighted by the Ravens at 13-4. They won their first division title since 2019, and they cashed as plus 240 preseason odds. The AFC North has showcased 3 different winning teams in the last 4 years. Ravens, Bengals, Steelers. Of course, as we know, the Browns have not won this division since 1989. The Ravens last year ended a streak of 2 years straight for the Bengals, and the Steelers back in 2020. I'd love to say it. I would love to say it, but I can't. So with that in mind, I'm down to just the 2. And I've been putting this Maloik on the Ravens and saying I don't believe, and I don't believe, and I don't think Derrick Henry's going to be all that. So I'll go with our boys down there in Cincinnati. Give me the Bengals at that plus 160 number to win the AFC North. Ryan.
I refuse to put the Bengals to win the division. So just scratch that. I'm not doing that. My least favorite team in the NFL. Refuse.
See, I hate the Ravens more than I hate the Steelers. Or I'm sorry. Well, Steelers and the
I know most people do.
And the Bengals.
I understand most people do. Like I said, I think it's because I went to the University of Cincinnati.
That's very fair.
Oh, man. By far the toughest division to predict. Obviously, I'm not going with Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So you got one left, buddy. Are you going to do it? I mean, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
For the sake of me refusing Cincinnati, and I'm just put Cleveland.
Yeah, Ryan!
Somebody on the show has to.
Somebody's got to do it. Give me the Cleveland Browns. You get them at plus 550. Plus 550 there for young Ryan as he takes the Browns. All right, AFC wild card. So here's where we go. I have Miami, Jacksonville, Kansas City, and Cincinnati winning the divisions. We get to playoff odds. Okay, so, all right, out of the East, I've got to pick one more team. The Jets have the 4th easiest schedule in football. The Bills have the 7th hardest schedule. New York Jets.
So you Buffalo missed the playoffs, huh?
I have Buffalo missing the playoffs. I have Houston coming out of the South. And your Cleveland Browns. Let's go. Oh, my God. No, I have Baltimore missing the playoffs then. Hey, man, I'm already riding with it. Screw it. That's it. Let's go. Suck it, Baltimore. That's not going to be good, but that's fine. I'm going to, yeah, okay. Let's go. I'm in. Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay. My first wild card team will be...
So, again, Ryan's got Buffalo, Indianapolis, KC, and Cleveland winning the divisions.
Yes. My first wild card team will be the Kentucky Bengals.
Cincinnati.
My second playoff team will be the New York Jets.
So now you're at a spot for only one left between Miami, Baltimore.
Yep.
And then again, the Jags. I know you're not a big believer, but also Houston. So you only got one spot between Houston, Baltimore, and Miami.
Well, Matt, if I got Buffalo and I got the Jets in the playoffs, give me my final wild card spot to the Houston Texans.
Wow.
Miami misses the playoffs,
and Baltimore
misses the playoffs.
Wow. Wow. There's where you go. All right, let's get to it now. The AFC champion this season, Ryan. Here's what I'm going to do. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Okay, AFC championship. I got it up. I cannot bet against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. I have them going back to the Super Bowl, run it back again. 49ers, Kansas City, Chiefs plus 325 to win the AFC. Ryan, your champion.
It's easy to get lost in fatigue with the Chiefs, but at the end of the day, they're going for history. If somebody's going to do it, it's going to be Mahomes. Give me Mahomes out of the AFC.
There it is. KC, our final one. Ravens plus 500 to win the AFC. Bengals plus 700. Texans and the Bills about 800. Jets plus 900. Do you want the risk real quick on making the playoffs or not? Ravens missed the playoffs plus 210, which we each had them doing that. The Bengals to make it is minus 240. Texans to make it is minus 200. Bills minus 170, as is the Jets to make the playoffs. The Cleveland Browns plus 145. They are minus 180 to miss the playoffs. They are favorited in Vegas to miss the playoffs. But we both have us making it. There you go. Your Super Bowl champion.
Yes.
Ryan Tyler. So you have Green Bay KC. I've got the 49ers KC.
Yes. Okay. And I will go. This is tough.
Okay.
It is insanely hard to bet against the Chiefs, but I'm going to do it. Give me Matt LaFleur. Give me Jordan Love to get their first Super Bowl rings. Go Pack Go. The Green Bay Packers will be your 2024-25 Super Bowl champions.
I will also take my NFC champion, and I will take the San Francisco 49ers to win the whole thing. So let me get Super Bowl odds here for you. Right now, Chiefs would get you plus 500, 49ers plus 600. Ryan, your Packers plus 1,1800 for you. That's different books out there.
Go.
Bit of a long shot there for you, 49ers and the Packers. All right, you want to run through awards quickly? Let's do it. MVP. Patrick Mahomes, your favorite at plus 500. Josh Allen plus 850. Joe Burrow plus 900. Jalen Hurts plus 1,000. CJ Stroud plus 1,100. Jordan Love plus 1,400. Aaron Rodgers plus 1,500. Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, and crew fall their way on down. Ryan, MVP.
My MVP, I hinted at it earlier. I think this is the year that Josh Allen gets his MVP. I think with the Bills, as I said, I have them winning the division. And there's kind of this thing around the MVP. You have to almost be a top 2, maybe 3 seed in your division to lock that award down. Like I said, I think this will be the best year statistically for Josh Allen. Now, Matt, I want to ask you this. Could you name me the Bills' top 3 receivers?
Keon Coleman, probably Khalil Shakur, and then I would say Curtis Samuel,
yes.
Probably, right?
And the reason I'm picking Josh Allen, I mentioned without having to worry about digs in your ear.
It's pretty good, by the way, for me to give that.
That was good. That was good. Khalil Shakur, I think, is pretty good. Keon Coleman, that's to be determined. You add that with Dalton Kincaid, who I think will put his name in the top 5 tight ends after this season. If you can establish a run game with James Cook, you limit the opportunities for Josh Allen to turn the ball over. Efficiency goes up. I think his numbers between his passing and his rushing touchdowns will be way too appealing. I think this is the year that Josh Allen finally gets the MVP award.
So a couple of things. Number one, I have put the Maloik on Baltimore. So therefore, and you and I don't have them making the playoffs, so we can't put Lamar Jackson on that. Number two, I don't think Mahomes gets it. And I think there's a fatigue factor coming in on that. So with that in mind, I'm down to basically 3 guys, okay? I don't think CJ Stroud gets it this year. I don't think Jalen Hurts gets it. So I'm down to Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Jordan Love. Now, what I've got to follow on that is I do not have Buffalo making the playoffs, and I don't have Green Bay winning their division. So I therefore have to go with one Joe Burrow.
Is this like a reverse from Malloy?
Maybe. I don't. But again, putting the Malloy, putting the reverse, whammy on him, so to speak. I'm gonna go Joe Burrow MVP.
Lord help us.
I don't want it to be that way. But that's where we're at. All right. Do you want to do Offensive Player of the Year?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, I don't. For some reason, I don't have odds for that. At least where I'm looking right now. Hang on. Coach of the Year, MVP, Rookie of the Year. Player of the Year? That's probably it. Yeah, okay. Offensive Player of the Year. Tyreek Hill's plus 700. Christian McCaffrey's plus 800. CeeDee Lamb plus 1,000. Jamar Chase plus 1,200. Breece Hall, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley plus 2,200. This award, obviously, hang on, let me go. NFL Offensive Player of the Year. I want to look at some history on this, okay? So Christian McCaffrey won it last year.
Yes.
Before that, it was Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, then Derrick Henry, Michael Thomas, then Patrick Mahomes. So the number one thing is, I don't think this is going to be a quarterback again. I think they're falling into, let's give the MVP to the quarterback. This is meant to be somebody else. In the age of the wide receivers, I would lean that way. Now, Tyreek Hill, for wanting to set the single season record and what I think Miami is going to be, I should probably go with that. I tell you, I don't think it's going to be Christian McCaffrey. The thing I like about CD and Jamar Chase is, though, that they got nothing else on their offenses other than them, and they could throw them the footballs a lot.
Yeah, but that doesn't always necessarily equate to the award.
And Dallas, I think, is going to suck. So I probably shouldn't go CD. And if Joe Burrow wins the MVP, how are you going to give Offensive Player of the Year to Jamar Chase? You go first, man. This is a hard one for me.
This is a tough one. Obviously, I'm between
You can't give it to Justin
players.
Jefferson. He's got Sam Darnold throwing to him.
I am
Are
going
we sleeping
to
on Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Matt.
My
Pick for Offensive Player of the Year is the Sun God, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think he's going to lead the league in receiving this season. And I think because it's not going to be a quarterback, because that will be MVP as the trends tell us, it goes to a different position. I don't see another running back doing it outside of CMC. I'm not going to bet on him to do it twice. So I'm going to go Amon-Ra St. Brown for Offensive Player of the Year.
Can I give you a sneak? It's not my pick. It's not my pick, but a long shot that I really like at plus 3,000.
What conference?
NFC.
Wide receiver?
Yes.
A.J. Brown?
No. He's actually almost about the same, plus 2,500. I got this guy at plus 3,000, though.
Okay.
Puka Nacua. I like it. I like it. It's not going to be my pick.
If Cooper Kupp stays healthy 16 games, I don't think he can get it.
I was reading something this week that people think Cooper Kupp's washed, man.
No, he's not.
All right, I'll believe it. I believe. But
not
could
washed.
you just not see Sean McVay go, we're just going to give Puka every single freaking football that we can?
No, I don't, actually.
All right. Well, I kind of like Puka there.
All right. If that's your pick, take it.
No, I can't. The other thing is I don't have another good one. You want to know who my gut said? You want to know what my gut said?
What's that?
And I'll go with it. At plus 2,000. So this is a bit of a long shot myself.
What was Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Plus 1,400. Plus 1,500 around there. Actually, if you run, is that Bet Rivers? It is. Bet Rivers has him at plus 2,000, which is great. I'll take this guy plus 1,800 around there. He's in a new spot, and they got a lot of talent there. But I think it goes back to a running back, Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
I'll take that for Offensive Player of the Year in that new system in Philly. Defensive Player of the Year, let's go. Can Myles Garrett do it again?
You go first on this.
All right. Betting favorite slightly is TJ Watt. You can throw these guys under a hat. TJ Watt is plus 550. Micah Parsons also about 550. Max Crosby plus 750. Miles to go back to back is plus 800. Nick Bosa plus 900. Aiden Hutchinson plus 1,000. The thing is on TJ Watt, everybody thought he should have got it last year, right? And he didn't. So I think he obviously will start in that lead as being the guy. I don't know how much I like Micah because I feel like he bitches too much. I don't know. It's just a vibe I get. Max Crosby, mark this, is not winning this award. He's just not going to. I'm down to two guys. My two guys are Myles Garrett, and I kind of like Aiden Hutchinson.
I don't know.
I'm going to go Myles. I think year 2 in the system. I'll take it, but I really like Aiden Hutchinson a lot to win that award, but I'll go Myles Garrett. Ryan?
It's so difficult for me to not pick a pass rusher, right?
Oh, it's got to be. There's no way.
Since Stephon Gilmore won it.
The closest corner on
Gilmore won it in 18.
Well, I'll tell you one I like too. Kyle Hamilton is the first DB, and he's plus 4,000. I'd put $5 on that. I'd put $5 on Kyle Hamilton. I kind of like that, to be honest with you. Everybody else, Hutchinson, Jones, Josh Allen, Will Anderson, Montez Sweat, Daniil Hunter. That's all of them right there. Before you get to Kyle Hamilton. It's a pass rusher. It's a defensive line award.
I want to say Micah, and I think I'm going to kick myself if I don't.
Okay.
I almost don't want to pick a pass rusher.
Okay.
Is that very stupid of me?
I know. I'm telling you, man, I would put money on Kyle Hamilton.
But the one I would.
We both have the Maloik being put on Baltimore this year. But if he's like that guy that he's just wrecking games and interceptions and pass defense and all that kind of stuff, the thing you're going to battle with on this is what? You are worried about the pass rush fatigue in that. And there was a time that, like, oh, man, Deron Bland and all this other kind of stuff. Kyle Hamilton, I think, is actually of the mold better than a corner to go out there and win this award if he's just a game wrecker. Absolute game wrecker. I think there's that possibility for sure.
All right. I'm doing it.
All right.
Give me Sauce Gardner.
Wow.
Return of the cornerback.
Honestly, I don't hate that for you, buddy.
Give me Sauce Gardner.
Plus 6,000.
Give me Sauce Gardner.
6,000 for you there, Ryan.
All pro his rookie year.
Hey, man, I preach. I like where you're going. I like it. If the Jets are going to be on that stage, which has a lot to do with that, the only thing is he's going to have the marquee matchups against Miami, but he doesn't have it anymore with Buffalo, and he certainly doesn't have it with the Patriots. And I have to run through the Jets' schedule. Like, does he have that?
Sure.
That he's got to lock. Hang on. Let me do that real quick.
Yeah, pull up that schedule.
All right. Here we go. All right. Well, Monday night, 49ers go lock down Debo and Ayuk. Then the Titans, Patriots, Broncos, Vikings, him and Justin Jefferson. Then the Bills, which we talked about, Steelers and Patriots and Texans. There's an opportunity there. Cardinals, stop Marvin Harrison. Colts, Pittman, okay. Seattle, DK and crew.
I'm saying.
Then the Dolphins, then the Jags, then the Rams, then the Bills and the Dolphins again.
Give him the award.
There's a lot. That's a lot.
Give
man.
Sauce.
I like
his
it.
damn hardware.
I like it. I like it a lot. I like where your head's at, for sure. Do you want to do rookies?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay. Rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year. Caleb Williams, heavy favorite at plus 140. Then Jane Daniels. Then Marvin Harrison. Then Bo Nix.
You think it's got to be a quarterback?
I mean, the thing is, it's already Caleb Williams, but you know what? It could be.
If I have the Bears making the playoffs, I have to go Caleb Williams.
You have to go Caleb.
The only other one, Matt, that I was considering not going quarterback was Malik Neighbors. Listen, I think Marvin Harrison will have a better career. I think this season Malik Neighbors is going to be that entire offense. That is Brian Dable's guy. Brian Dable's on the hot seat. He's going to give every opportunity to Malik Neighbors to shine.
I'm with you where if I don't pick Caleb Williams, I can't pick another quarterback. I don't see Jaden, and I don't think Jaden Daniels going to be very good. I like Jaden Daniels a lot. I can't go Bo Nix, and I love freaking Bo Nix. I think he's going to be really good, to be honest with you. So then I got to go some other position, so I will go with Marv. I will go with Marvin Harrison. I think if Kyler Murray can get back and they're going to feed him a lot of footballs there, I'm going to go with Marvin Harrison. Defensive rookie of the year. Dallas Turner's your favorite. Latu is up there. Jared Verse, Byron Murphy. There's two Byron Murphys, by the way. One's a corner, the other one's a defensive tackle. No. They're the same guy. There's another Byron Murphy somewhere else. But anyway, Taron Armstead, Chop Robinson. I'll go Latu. I read that somewhere. Somebody likes Latu, so I'll go with him.
Give me Taron Armstead.
Armstead? Okay. Armstead. All right, final one. Coach of the year. So here we go. Obviously, I don't know if it's going to be Kevin Stefanski again, but we'll see. Your favorite right now is... Wait, why do I not have this? Matt Eberflus plus 850, Jim Harbaugh plus 850, Mike McDonald, Matt LaFleur, Raheem Morris, D'Amico Ryans.
Actually, can I change my defensive rookie?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Give me Quinyon Mitchell. Toledo boy.
Kind of like Cooper DeJean there, too, by the way.
Quinyon's better.
I like Quinyon. Coach of the year. Yes. Eberflus, Jim Harbaugh, Mike McDonald, Matt LaFleur, Raheem Morris, D'Amico Ryans, all right up there.
You go first.
It's a guy that is circled around. And if I've got this team winning their division and he maybe should have deserved it the last couple of years. I've got to go with one man Campbell. Give me Dan Campbell for that.
Okay. Well,
it's not Eberflus because it's not about him. It's about Caleb Williams. Jim Harbaugh will help the Chargers. Not enough for that. I don't think Mike McDonald gets it in Seattle. I could listen to Matt LaFleur, and I could see where you're maybe going because you have them winning their division.
Yeah,
I could listen to Matt LaFleur all day.
Give me LaFleur.
And I don't think it's going to be Raheem Morris. I don't think it's going to be D'Amico Ryan, so I'm going to have to go Dan Campbell. You're going to go Matt LaFleur.
Yes.
I like that pick. I like it a lot. That's it, buddy. We're done.
Woo!
Ready to go? You want to do the whole thing over again?
Let's do it.
All right, NFC. East, we both have Philly. North, I go Detroit, you go Green Bay. South, I go Tampa Bay, you go Atlanta. We both have the 49ers making the West. My NFC wildcards, Green Bay, the Rams, and Atlanta. You have Detroit, the Rams, and Chicago. So the only difference that we have is I trade out Tampa Bay, you have Chicago making it. On the NFC, you've got Green Bay going to the Super Bowl. I've got the 49ers. On the AFC side of things, East, I go Miami, you go Buffalo. I go Jags, you go the Colts in the South. We both go Kansas City in the West. I go Cincy in the North, Cleveland for you. Wild card teams, Jets, Houston, and the Browns for me. You've got Cincy, the Jets, and the Houston Texans. We both have Miami. I'm sorry, we both have Detroit. Oh my God, Baltimore.
Hey, you gotta leave someone
missing.
out. You
have Miami missing.
Gotta leave someone.
I have Buffalo missing. We both have Kansas City going to the Super Bowl, but we both pick the NFC side. I go 49ers. You go with the Green Bay Packers. MVP, I go Joe Burrow. You went Josh Allen. Offensive Player of the Year, Amon-Ra St. Brown for you. Saquon Barkley for me. Defensive Player of the Year, I went Miles. You went Sauce. Offensive Rookie, I went Marvin Harrison. You went Caleb Williams. Defensive Rookie, I went Latu Latu. You went Quinyon Mitchell. Coach of the Year, Dan Campbell and Matt LaFleur. It's going to be fun, man. Dude, it's already 42. We did this for an hour.
I know, dude.
I hope everybody enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm not upset about it.
Now I'm going to sit here. I'm going to go home and just like write everything down. Let's do this. Let's not even break. Okay. We got to do the grid because we're on a streak.
Oh, yes, we are.
We got to do the grid.
Yes.
We might have to bump time hop. And then I just want to get to our plays for tonight. Buddy, I'm ready to go for tonight.
Yeah, you want to rip this grid quick?
Yeah, let's rip the grid, and then we'll get to our plays tonight for Thursday Night Football. Let's roll.
Let's do it.
Well, I mean, obviously a lot of teams we just discussed, but all playoff teams as we go. All right, here's how the grid works. We got 9 minutes. We got to fill it out. We get it tomorrow in addition to today, and we've got a giveaway for everybody out there. 9 minutes, go. 3,000-yard passing season.
I mean, we can go Vic. We could go Mark Sanchez. We could go.
You probably go Mark Sanchez.
Jalen Hurts. Did he play for the Eagles at one point, or does it have to be on that?
I think on that.
So we could go Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Mark Sanchez.
Probably go Mark Sanchez, sure.
I mean, who else would? I mean,
Joe Namath. You could go Joe Namath. You could go
Joe Namath.
Chad Pennington, probably 3,000's not all that much.
No, I mean, you could go
and Trevor Lawrence is fine. Okay. All right. Yeah. Just open it up. Okay. Oh, there's my brain is going too many places.
Oh,
all right. Jai works there.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. And then Jets Packers.
Jets Packers?
Yeah, Brett Favre. Brett Favre. Wait. Right?
Did he play? I was just
he went to Minnesota.
I was just thinking that, but then I'm like, you said it so confidently.
Yeah.
Did he play for the Jets?
I'm like 99%
sure. The Packers, Vikings.
And the Jets.
Yeah?
You want to know what? The Jets is where he got in trouble for the sexting thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why I remember that, but I do.
Okay. I mean, where do you want to?
Oh, Reggie White, Eagles. Eagles Packers. The Minister of Defense.
That's got to be 85 to 2000.
Correct. What's that one? The one you're on, Miami, Jacksonville. What is not screaming to us on that? Right?
Blake Bortles, Blaine Gabbert.
No, I want to say Leonard Fournette, but I know it's not.
I don't think he played for the Dolphins.
Then, like, not Jamal Adams. Right, so Jamal Adams starting. There's a player like that, like a superstar player that left Jacksonville.
Yes, it's Jalen Ramsey.
That. Right, he was like sitting there slapping me in the face. I got a little bit there with Jamal Adams, but you're right, Jalen Ramsey is exactly what I was thinking about there. All right, God bless you. Oh, Jets Dolphins, Jason Trusnick.
Sorry, Jets Dolphins,
Jason Trusnick.
Oh, it might be another one coming.
God bless you.
Purple
Elephants.
Okay, Packers.
All right, Packers. Is that not Blake Bortles too?
Did he play for the Green Bay Packers?
I want to say yeah, but I don't remember. Not good enough to rip that there. That's fine.
Okay.
Did Jared Cook ever play in Jacksonville?
Did Jared Cook ever play in Green Bay?
I don't. Yes. I'm like pretty sure he played in Green Bay. I don't know if he played in Jacksonville though, so let's not rip that one. Oh, Mark Brunell.
Does he work? You love Mark.
I know that's the one. Like I always keep bringing him up. I know he works in Jacksonville, and I'm like, I'm ripping Mark Brunell. I rip it. Yep, rip it.
Did we get the Immaculate Grid yesterday?
Yeah, we're on a streak.
Well, Mark Brunell was the most popular.
In 4 minutes. Tomorrow for the giveaway. Let's go. Done it. Well done. As we get ready to go for...
Marshall had to go to Packers, Jags, Mercedes Lewis.
Oh, that's might be what I was thinking about. Yeah, that's a good call, too. Mercedes, he just signed for like his 20th year again, by the way. Still getting it done there.
Or are you thinking of Martellus Bennett?
No, Mercedes Lewis.
Oh, did he?
It was not him?
I think you're thinking of Martellus Bennett.
No. Mercedes Lewis just signed with the Bears.
Oh, did he?
He was drafted he was drafted in 2006.
Old head.
Yeah. He's 40 years old. That's exact. But here's the crazy thing. He's played since 2006, but he's only played for 3 teams. He was in Jacksonville for a decade. Then he was with the Packers for 5 years. And now he's been with Chicago for 2. So that's a pretty crazy one right there. So it's a lot of fun. All right, we get going for tonight.
Oh, we didn't pick comeback player of the year.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, I'm just messing.
I got Joe Burrow winning the MVP.
So he can't win both, can he?
Probably. Well, I guess he could.
Could, but
I
don't care.
I know. Do you really want to play?
No, I don't. I'm just messing.
I'll give it to Kirk Cousins. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
I got really nothing for you on it, but
yeah, Sean Watson.
It's not. He will never ever win a award run. I think of any consequence there. All right, here we go. Do we have football back tonight? It's going to be so much fun. Baltimore, Kansas City. It's at KC. KC, a 3-point favorite. The over-under is 46.5. Chiefs minus 145. So again, we can go back to last year. And of course, Kansas City beat Baltimore 17-10 in the playoffs last year. It's so hard for me to go back to last year. Here's the one thing that I will say for tonight. It's early in the season on Thursday night. My favorite play for that is usually the under and the dog. Chiefs and Ravens met in the playoffs last year. That point total came out to just 27. It wasn't surprising as KC and Baltimore had 2 of the better defenses in football. This is a write-up from OddsShark this morning. I know a lot of focus will be on Lamar and Mahomes, but I view this as one of the best defensive chess matches once again. PFF projects both of these teams to have top 10 defenses, so I'm backing the under as part of the play, under 46.5. Would you like to get some other props in this game?
Yeah, we also have to. This will be our first spread when we keep track of.
Oh yeah, we should do that. Yeah, we do that. That's right.
Yeah,
we're into it, buddy.
Yeah, we're here, man.
Back,
we're here.
Baby. We're back. Let's go. All right. Would you give me the half? Would you give me the hook here?
Sure.
All right. KC minus 3.5. Baltimore. I'm taking KC all day. Dude, I'm taking them on an alternate spread. I'm taking a minus 5.5. I think they wipe the floor with them tonight.
Wow.
I Baltimore, man, I love the under more than anything, but I certainly like KC to cover in this one, Ryan.
And it's 3.5?
3.5. I'll give you 3.5.
If I get 3.5, give me Baltimore +3.
Okay. All right. We'll take Baltimore on that. Can I get you some other props for tonight if you're interested? Another thing they really like from OddsShark is over Derrick Henry 70 rushing yards for this game. Now, again, I think that kind of works if you want to take the under because go ahead, run the football all the live long day. I'm fine with that. I don't even want to tell you what I did. A no names please sportsbook, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
I placed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leg parlay. $5 would win me $600,000.
Hey, dude, shoot for the stars.
It's like a lottery ticket, is it not? Do you want to know what it is?
I can't wait to go home and lock in my bag.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to bet tonight. It's gonna be fun. Would you like to know my 6 legs?
Yes, please.
Ohio State to win the national championship this year.
Oh, so this is like a...
It's all champions. It's all champions. 49ers to win the Super Bowl. The Phillies to win the World Series. The Nuggets to win the NBA championship. Duke to win the NCAA championship. This is the one that'll get you here. Tommy Fleetwood
to win the Masters?
To win any major.
Oh, nice.
Any major. $5 wins me $600,000.
What's the first thing you would do with that $600,000?
We'd probably buy a house.
What about kids' college?
So we're already we're already saving for that. Okay. So here's the thing: if we bought a house and paid off a house, then the money that we would normally be spending for our mortgage we just put into the kids' 5 to 9.
You could just buy a house and then immediately pay it off.
Literally, just sign something over. Oh my god, it'd be so nice. What'd that be? $600,000 after taxes. I'd probably take home what?
Like 420.
Yeah, maybe 450, something like that. I'm all for it. All right, more bets for tonight because I certainly hope that happens, but we'll see how it goes. All right, do you like any touchdown scores tonight? Anytime. Derrick Henry, Isaiah Pacheco, Kelsey, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy. Do you like a first-time touchdown score? The first touchdown score.
You go first.
I'm going to take Pacheco. Can I get a Patrick Mahomes
rush touchdown?
Rush touchdown?
I think you can do anything.
I don't like it. Passing yards. Here, wait. No, hang on. Wait a minute. Because they just have the milestones on here. I want to have the over-unders, actually. Hang on. Let me get out of here. NFL. New updated interface on Bet365, which I'm a big fan of here. All right, player props. Again, we ran through touchdowns here. First quarter, anytime touchdown score. Second half, anytime main props. What the hell? Why can't I just find the over-unders? Why is it this hard? Maybe same game parlay? All right. I found it. Lamar Jackson over under 216.5 passing yards.
Oh, man.
216. Doesn't seem like a lot.
No, it doesn't. Give me the over.
Mahomes, 268. I like the under there a lot. Touchdowns are a touchdown and a half for each. Do you think either one of them is going to throw an interception?
I think Patrick will throw an interception.
All right, take over on him. It's minus 115. Receiving yardage. Mark Andrews, 47.5. Zay Flowers, 52.5. For the Chiefs, Rashee Rice, 61.5. Kelsey, 57.5. Do you like either of those overs?
I'll take the over on Kelsey.
All right. Rushing. Over under 65.5. Again, the book, I was reading OddsShark. They like over Derrick Henry, 65.5 rushing yards. Pacheco is at 58.5.
I'll take Derrick Henry's over.
Okay, take Derrick Henry's over on that. So again, I'm taking the under tonight. I've got an even 47. It's going down. And I frankly like the Chiefs to cover. I like them covering by 5.5, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Tonight. It's a little more like I'm putting on the Ravens, but we'll see. Dude, football is back. We're so excited for it. And we get to do all Browns tomorrow. Friday report card makes its return. We'll get you ready for the weekend with our betting plays on all of that on a Friday edition. Appreciate it.
I'm going to try and find a Dallas guy.
Oh, yeah. Please try to find somebody to talk Dallas tomorrow. I'd love to do that. I would love to do that. So we'll do that tomorrow on a Football Friday edition. First one of the year. Exciting about that. Enjoy the game tonight. We'll talk to you 9 a.m. tomorrow. Thursday night. We have Cincy boys tonight?
Yeah, I think they went.
Did they go last night?
I swear I saw them go Tuesday.
Okay, check it out. BigPlay.com. Download the app. Check us out on YouTube, Twitter. We're all over the place to see what we got going tonight.
That was the fastest this show's ever gone for me.
Well, it's because we just literally did 45 straight minutes of all of our picks. 45 minutes of all of our picks.
To make that graphic and tweet it out. And
you want me to email this to you? Can I do it later? I got to do a bunch of stuff later when I get home, so I'll send it to you later. But yeah, love the Chiefs tonight. Love minus the points.
Take a picture of you right when you wrote it down.
I can, but are you going to be able to read my handwriting? It's pretty scratch, man. It's pretty ass.
I'll be able to.
It's pretty ass. All right, fair enough. I'll send that to you tonight. Appreciate everybody joining us on basically our pseudo 1-year anniversary. But back tomorrow, Friday edition. Same spot, same time, right here on Big Play. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.